Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so here today with the finale of Oyasumi Punpun. Don't know why, but after like the last video, I had to just like lie down and just like breathe out for like a good hour or so. But yeah, we could say with the finale of Punpun chapter 143, 144, 145, 146, and 147, I believe. Sorry, 144 to 147. But I did want to start this video by talking a little bit about 143 because I did have some time to think about it. Like I said, I hadn't about an hour, so it's still very fresh in my memory, and it's still I thought about it while I was like lying down, just like thinking like, damn, that was a special chapter because we've obviously had the build up to the Good Vibrations Festival and everything, built up the entire show, and I've always said I don't know why, but then we get this. And what really hits me is like, you see Punpun right here. He just wants it all to go. He's tired of life. He's tired of it all. He's tired of everything that he's been going through, and it's very sad because we've seen this character grow up from like a little squirt to now this, where he just feels absolutely hopeless. And he's like, okay, it's finally time for me to rest. It's finally time for me to die. Good night. I just see Punpun, and there she is. Aiko, gone. Punpun himself, the belief, the strength in himself is gone. God, gone. The person that, he said previously that like he realized that like he is God. When he was praying Tinkle Tinkle Hoy, that was him essentially. So like he and Aiko, the two things that he thought were tying him down, the two things that he thought were giving him strength, are now gone. He's got nothing left. And there she is. At the exact moment that he needed him the most. That he needed her the most. She appears. Punpun. I love that. Good night, Punpun. That would have been such a fitting ending too though. Oh, you asked me, Punpun. Good night. Oh my goodness. I'm feeling sad already now just reading that again. But yeah, good night, Punpun. I love her line. I love her line, what she says here, but I didn't let him do such a thing. Perhaps it's just my own selfishness, but wake up. As long as Punpun continues to suffer, the stronger I will have to be. I won't ever let him run away from me again. And you just see him like slowly get up. Slowly. You see this helpless, almost like childlike hand that is like almost putting out there, begging to be helped, but also hesitating. And she just grabs it. That's why, Kocha, you're mine and mine alone. That is so special. That is so special. This chapter alone might have like raised Punpun by a whole rank for me. It's like such a special. There are certain chapters that are really special in anime period, right? Sorry, in manga period, right? Certain things that like I think about and I'm like, wow. I love it. Yeah, I can give you one for Berserk right off the bat. I think most people would know which one I think of Berserk. The big part and the first. There are three in Berserk, actually. Two. Actually three. There are three for me in Berserk, which is why it's so high for me. One Piece, which is my favorite manga of all time, has about 8 moments where I'm like, this is the moment. This is the moment that like I truly realized it was special. Punpun, it had a lot of good moments so far, but this is the moment where I realized, wow, this is truly special. But we're gonna continue. We're gonna finish this today. I feel like taking a break again right now, just like reading. Now I'm like, damn. God damn. But the show must go on, ladies and gentlemen. The show must go on. Chapter 144. Punpun slowly opening his eyes. No. Don't strain your body to get up. Just stay as you are. You just had surgery on your left eye. You've been asleep for half a day since then. Mimura and Muzutsu came by a little while ago. I don't really mind, but you really should try not to worry the others. Well, I need to head back now and get to work. What's this? I had some free time, so I wrote some ideas for my next story. You want to see? This is the main character. What do you think? Too much. Ah, come on, mate. Come on, mate. It's just a joke. My editor would be shocked beyond words if I tried to stunt like that. Mimura was the one who doodled that. But I do have to start thinking about my next serialization. Once you've started running, you can't just stop in the middle. I don't care how long or sleazy the work is, I'm going to draw a manga that will sell so I can get out from this hell created by my self-consciousness. Ha. Sorry for rambling about unrelated stuff. I'll go home for today. I won't ask where you've been or what you've done. But if there comes a time you feel like talking about it, I'll be by your side, ready to listen to all of it. And if there are times you can't communicate your thoughts to others very well, I'll be there to tell them in your place. I'll be waiting. I'll wait as long as it takes until then. I'll come again tomorrow. Just that right there has got to give him a hope. Not just hope. Here comes the police. Excuse me, miss. Are you a friend of Mr. Onodera? We received a witness report of Mr. Onodera entering and leaving the house in which a murdered victim was later discovered. Do you mind answering a few questions for us? No. Go ahead. Is that the first time we actually see... Well, I was going to say see his face, but of course it's bandaged up. Since it's only been a day since the operation, we'll go easy today. First, start by telling us your name. My name is... And a baby is born. Onodera Suara. That's a new name. Damn it. It's just as I thought. This is hope, isn't it? It most certainly is. July 7th. It was born at 10:39 p.m. I don't see. I wonder what's gonna happen to Punpun. You can't just say this is hope and then giving us hope in the last chapter, being like maybe there is a happy ending for him. And now the police is there, it's like, is there? I'm not sure. Just a little longer and it'll be Tanabata. Last year was no good, but hopefully I can see the Milky Way this way. Aiko. It's been a while. I've got a lot of things to report this year too. My probation is now over. And since last month I've started working at the real estate agents that my former boss at Shiseido Heights introduced me to. It's a really plain job, but I'm trying my hardest well. Times have changed. Obviously Aiko's not alive. That's just in his mind, right? As for my mangaka friend, the paperback volume 1 of her newest work, the one I helped out on, just came out, so she's pretty happy. Amimura's getting married next year. Me and all the others are doing well. I'm moving along just fine. It wasn't as difficult as I thought. Avoiding luxury and greed, while working earnestly to be even the slightest bit of help to others' world's probation. And when I see those around me smiling, I feel very relieved. Since I don't have work tomorrow, maybe I'll go out somewhere. If I did have something I could call a worry. It's the fact that my friend's daughter has grown so attached to me. She thinks of me as her dad. Of course, I do think the child is better off having a father, but I don't think that should be me. I'm fine now being myself. I'm fine being by myself. That's the only selfish desire of me. It's very peaceful, like perhaps the life of a ghost. Carefree and without worry, I naturally let the winds take me forward when it blows. Exactly where I'm headed to is of no real concern to me. But eventually when it's time to leave, I'd like to vanish like an insignificant bubble and fade away from everyone's memories as well. There are times when I look back to my childhood or the few months I spent with you, but trying to put such a fragmented and vague feelings into words is almost impossible. Rather pathetic, isn't it? Now I don't like having to live with such feelings of shame. It's a lone duty you've charged me with, so I'll keep at it until the very end. Aiko, I've been thinking about whether or not we really saw that Milky Way during that one time in our childhood. Could it be that we saw was just glorified by our imagination? That's what I wonder these days. These days your voice is a little faint, Aiko. Perhaps your voice was always that way. Is that really how you looked? Even though it's only been a year, I'm growing less confident in what you were really like. That's heartbreaking. If you ever betray me again, I'll kill you then, Aiko. I already know you can no longer kill me. You wouldn't lie, would ya, Punpun? May you never forget me, Aiko. Oh. Had to check my food there. Well, it's not just that. I cut it down, but the bone. The bone. Absolutely delicious. I don't have many hidden... I don't have many guilty pleasures, right? One of them has always been gammon shank. That's always been my guilty pleasure. Just look at this beautiful piece of meat. Beautiful piece of meat. Or this beautiful piece of meat. This absolutely delicious kind of chip. But this beautiful piece of meat. Oh my goodness. The camera does not do it any justice. But that kind of taken me completely out of the mood. You wouldn't lie, would you, Punpun? May you never forget me, Aiko. Well, he's been lying. I'm sorry for being a liar. Man, the facial drawing in this is just superb, I have to say. It's absolutely superb. I'm certain I won't be able to see the Milky Way this year or next. And all the future Tanabata nights will be too cloudy. And yet the world won't end, nor will humanity perish. I have to keep on moving forward. Bzz. I'm sorry, Bzz. Aiko. Bzz. Bzz. Goodbye. Oyasumi Aiko. Bzz. Bzz. Well, I can't say. It's a better... Punpun is in a better situation than I thought he would be. And I like that. He's in a better... I didn't want him to be locked up for the rest of his life with no escape, no parole, no probation, no anything. So that's nice to see. That's nice to see. I will never forget the time I've spent with you all. Thank you for everything until now. Mr. Harumi. Have you finished making the plans for next month's get-together? Oh. Well, okay. Well, okay. I actually sent the forms for it to you last weekend by email, and so you did. So how was it, holding a farewell party for a student in your very first class? I mean, it went well, but I have to say I feel a little lonely now that she's gone. Oh, you're so sensitive. But deep down inside, you really couldn't care less, am I right? About the theme of your writing assignment, the importance of friendship. As the head of your class grade, haven't you considered the possibility that a student who hasn't grown close with his classmates yet might be hurt by such a topic? I must ask you to be more careful on such matters. With all due respect, Mr. Takahashi. All the students in my class get along well with each other, and I've received approval on that topic from their parents at the last parent-teacher meeting. If you get too big-headed just because you're popular with the parents now, it may get cut off. It may get cut off sometime down the line. Then how about dreams for the future? Yes, that's fair for everyone. I approve it. Different look. And that Takahashi really has an axe to grind with you, Shuntaro, doesn't he? Well, that just shows how serious he takes his work. I can understand there being sensitivity toward that topic from the parents since bullying problem a while back, but I have my doubts whether dreams for the future is a really much further topic or not. Now Takahashi fusses too much over one thing while ignoring other points. I mean, everyone comes from different family backgrounds with its own circumstances, so forcing the students to think about the future can be problematic in its own way. Shuntaro, you're too agreeable with people. Then what are you Then what are you having the kids in your class write about? The most recent time you showed bravery. Fair, fair, see. You just scoffed at me, didn't you? No, I'm just impressed by how well it fits you. The topic's not important, though. It's just an assignment to help improve their writing skills. Thanks for collecting all these stuff to throw out for me, by the way. Hey, he's purposely changing the topic, aren't you? Oh, if it isn't my old high school notebook. This takes me back. Yeah, I found a lot of stuff while cleaning up. It's fine if I throw all those stuff out, right? Yeah, I don't need them anymore. Don't forget, we're going out to try the dress next Sunday. How could I forget? I'm really looking forward to it. At the recent dinners we had together with my folks, it seems like you and my parents are now getting along. But even they're just pretending they can understand young people. So don't go thinking that you can maintain your place forever just by putting on a smile. Oh my gosh, you came, Harumi. So no, Harumi's here. Yo, Harumi, it's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah, I think you grew a little too tall there, Komatsu. Yeah, I was already over 190 back in high school. Hey, I thought for sure you wouldn't come. Thanks for calling me up, Seki. It was pretty hard finding your contact info, you know. Sign reads elementary school reunion. Where's the other guy, you know? The boy who was always with you? Oh, Shimizu, he was busy with this other thing, so he couldn't make it. He's working as a nurse these days while I'm running the lunchbox store with my old man. I see. And that just leaves... Well... This sure is nostalgic. It seems like nothing's changed for everyone. You mean we're all just pretending nothing's changed? I think I'd say a lot has changed, if I'm being completely honest here. A bunch of ragtag boys is completely off. I mean, you're all just pretending nothing's changed. The people who come to these reunions are always those who have the time to put on such a front. You mean we're not all here together? We're not all here to compare how well off our lives are. That's kind of what I would have hoped for when I'm going to a school reunion. That I'm like wealthy, and I can be like, yo, I'll come in with my limousine, and I'm like, yo, I'm loaded. In reality, I'm like broke and everything, but like that's what I would do in like a reunion. I'd go in there and be like, yeah, I'm loaded. Don't deny it. It's the same for you, am I right, Mr. Teacher? You're as hard on me as ever, Seki. You two are a perfect pair. Oh no, not at all. He's a very kind person. Kind is all he is. Shuntaro, if you're bored, you're free to go take a walk outside. Why? I'm not bored at all. Sorry, but I'd like to have some time to think alone. Okay. This world that was supposed to come down, it's supposed to be destroyed. Good vibrations. I'm sure this is what they call normal. This life is so easy it feels like my mind is ready to snap at any time. This year's Hanabata has been predicted to be on a clear day despite being in the midst of the rainy season. I suddenly felt that I had to kill someone, so I started strolling through the streets teeming with shoppers. That was when I met him again. And the final chapter of this glorious journey. Glancing at his general physique, he appeared every bit as just another adult. But when our eyes met, I knew it was him without a doubt. It seemed it was the same for him as well. Our disjointed and indifferent conversation continued. It couldn't be helped, as I was no longer the me who knew him, and the same surely applied to him as well. By the time the conversation topic changed to the weather, perhaps both of us realized that fact, for we felt it was time to separate. After a momentary silence, he said there was something he's been meaning to tell me for the longest time. The porno video we called EBG was actually EVG. As I thought, is that what's been on your mind all this time? In mind, he continued. Also, when you transferred school, I was really lonely. I had felt the same way. But even with that said, there was nothing the two of us back then could really do about it. That's the child he's taking care of. Don't go around loitering on your own, you jackass. Huh? He's the old classmate from elementary school. I got it. He's the one who went out with a girl and then got dumped all in half a day, right? Alright, let's go. We were all looking for you. The whole gang is here. Those two as well. The whole gang is here. I love this. I love this chapter. Just the whole look back to everything. As we separated, I commented, "Oh, so you're married?" But his expression told me that wasn't the case. Still, I did not wish to inquire further. I also felt no particular need to ask him about the wound on his left eye. After all, you and I are already... That's his family. That's his family. As I said, see you again. I knew in the corner of my mind that I would surely never meet him again. Even until the very last moment, I still couldn't recall his name. Shuntaro. I feel like there's a rift in our conversation. What are you really thinking deep down inside? Are you saying you're prepared to accept all of me? I know there are some things that are better off not asked, but I just can't forgive Takashi's abuse. Wait, what? Are you serious? You're still dragging out that topic? You know, even I get annoyed every now and then. He's a real a-hole. Alright, you hate him too, don't you? If I'm the only one who hates him, then I'd be that one bitch who hates people for no good reason. I don't want to be that kind of person. Now that looks like... Never mind. What's wrong? You don't have to be so nervous. You'll be sure to get along with everyone in no time, so do your best. That's the same thing that teacher at my last school said. No, never mind. I thought something completely. I don't need such easygoing encouragement. It's not as if you know anything about me. You're right. I don't know you right now, and to be frank, I don't have any particular interest in you as of yet. However, I'm being truthfully serious when I tell you to do your best. I'll do anything for your sake as your teacher, so learn to rely more on adults. And move from My name is Sazaku Moi. Alright then, well... He would have recognized it now. Well, now that we have our new student... Just the stupid chills. What is normal again? Hey, did you know humanity's going to go extinct? And with that, we end it. Kind of how we started it. We end the story in a very similar manner to how we started, ladies and gentlemen. I will say this. That's a very nice ending. It's a very sweet ending, which I did not expect we'd get. I must admit, I did not expect we'd get a sweet ending. For Punpun as well, I did not expect him to have a sweet ending, but he did. From beginning to end, the story of a man's life was beautifully done. Beautifully crafted, beautifully done. It was written superbly. Punpun was such a likable character, but then when you saw him like slowly, I don't want to say go down the dark route, more so when you slowly saw him, what's the best way to phrase it? Maybe lose it? Perhaps that's a good way to phrase it. When you slowly saw him lose it, it was just kind of, it became kind of difficult to read. And like the last 30 chapters or so were also very difficult to read because you just saw like, oh, happiness. And then like with one act, it was just like, oh no. Life has just been completely... I mean, it wasn't even happiness before that. It was just like the illusion of happiness. But what I liked so much as well with like chapter, what was it, like 145 I think it was, this anchor that's been like weighing him down, which was Aiko. Yeah, he was starting to say, I don't even remember. Day by day, I'm like starting to forget how you looked like. I'm starting to forget what your voice sounded like, which is good, because that means he's moving on. He's got a life that that he's living. He's got responsibilities. He's got a child. He has a family. Oh my goodness, I'm about to tear up. I'm just saying all that, and I felt like, okay, let's focus. I'm actually like just saying all that, like I could feel the tears welling up right now. I'm like, whoa, when did this hit me so hard? But this manga has been a roller coaster. Honestly, it's been a really great roller coaster. There's been some extremely high highs, and then you saw the characters, and you were like, oh, some extremely low lows. But I'm glad, because I thought it would end with his death, or with him being, having a horrible ending for him, like being locked up forever. But that wasn't the case. It was a positive ending for him. And for me, I've said this plenty of times, but for me, if the ending of anything, right, whether it's manga, anime, TV show, whatever, or book, if the ending doesn't stick its landing, then the whole show is a mess. The ending stuck its landing. Granted, this chapter 147, was a lot sweeter than, like, I almost think works for this manga. But because we've had the last 5 chapters, building up to this ending, I guess, it works flawlessly. My favorite chapter of this whole entire manga, easily, very easily, honestly, is 143. The Good Vibrations chapter, amazing. I kind of want to talk about this in a lot more detail, and I will do so, but I kind of want to, like, let it digest. I'm not just saying that because there's food in front of me, so I want to let that digest. The food can get cold, I can just reheat it, so that's not much of an issue. But there's so many themes that this show has tried to tackle that I want to let it marinate a little bit. So I'll make a separate video just giving my thoughts on Punpun. Might be short, might be long, I don't know. It's not going to be a review necessarily, just my thoughts on Punpun as a whole. Because now that we finished it, I do want to say that I very much enjoyed this, and I can't remember who recommended it to me. I think it might have been like a Discord recommendation, which, in case you don't know, yeah, it was a Discord recommendation by somebody. In case you don't know, if you want to recommend shows, I mean, we've got so many recommended on Discord, so like there's like a very long list, but we do have like a Discord. I do have a Discord which you can join. The link's in the description down below. And like once you hit certain levels, you can recommend shows to me that will go into like a list, and there's, like I said, the list is just so long that almost I don't know whether it's really worth it recommending things. But yeah, thank you to everyone that's been following me this journey. I know these videos don't get many views, they get like 20-30 views at most, but I'm glad I did it. I mean, that's just kind of the nature of my channel, I guess. My whole channel gets like 20-30 views per videos, but that doesn't mean that I'm not reacting, that I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, because I'm getting to, the good thing is I'm getting to, people are telling me, and people are informing me about things that I should watch, and these are generally, most of the time, very, very good things. Things that I love, which I can definitely say about Punpun right now, I love. It's been a very enjoyable journey. It's been a very enjoyable manga. And ultimately, I'm very happy. I know it's not the kind of manga to make you happy, but I'm very happy about how it ended. I'm very happy for Punpun. And I'm also very happy that I read Goodnight Punpun. Chapter 143 is a 10 out of 10 for me. And if you know anything about me, 10 out of 10s don't exist. That's all you need to know about chapter 143. That one chapter raises Punpun by a whole mark. By a whole grade. And that's incredible. Because again, I was already thinking, like, where would I put Punpun? Would it be like top 5, top 10, top 15? Wherever it is, like whatever, if I were to make a tier list, wherever it would be, that one chapter would raise it from like a B to an A, or from like an A to an S, so wherever I would originally put it. I don't know yet. I have to kind of like sit on it, because this isn't something that is defined by arcs, which usually makes things very simple, because I can like kind of think of, okay, where would I put this arc, and then like where would I put all the arcs combined, where would I put the story and the themes and all of it combined. But this one was just one big story. Yes, there were certain sections, of course, but I would still consider this one big story. So that's my thought on Punpun as a whole, this show. I will talk about it more in a separate video, maybe 2, 3, maybe 4, maybe a week later. But I'm glad I read it, and that says a lot. I'm very glad I read it. Let me know what you all think, and I'll see all of you next one, everyone. Until then, have a nice day, and for one last time, good vibrations.